Look at your hands right now. If there is a clear M between the lines, or a crescent moon, however small, then this video is for you. And it is not by chance that you are here. Because people with these symbols tend to live a different, more intense, more challenging, more profound life. Maybe until today, you have not realized it, but from now on, you will not be able to ignore it anymore. You are more special than you think. You may think it is nonsense, just a coincidence. But follow me, because throughout this video, I will show you why the lines on your hands mean more than just appearance. They carry messages that explain a lot about your story, and especially about what is to come. In fact, I will tell you what stages in life you may have gone through, and why nothing happens by chance. Some people are born with this trait. Some people take a long time to realize it. But what all of these people have in common is a feeling. The feeling that they never really fit into the world. From an early age, children feel more, think too much, carry a burden that they don't even know where it comes from. And even without understanding it, they continue to live with the feeling that something bigger is waiting for them. If you feel the same way, you are not alone. And what is marked on your hands is just the beginning of the answer. These symbols have been studied in ancient traditions, including Buddhist monks, who recognized in them signs of heightened consciousness, rare sensitivity, and spiritual potential. And today, even science is beginning to approach this issue because the body always speaks, and when you learn to listen to what your hands are trying to tell you, everything starts to make sense, even the difficult times in your life that you never understood until now. If this has touched something deep inside you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving personalized messages, and most importantly, write in the comments this statement: I am the mark. I am ready. This is your way of confirming to the universe that your soul has awakened, and I want to know where this video goes and how many special people like you there are in this world. From a young age, you knew you were different, not because someone told you, but because you felt it in your bones. At home, you loved your family, but felt a quiet distance. At school, you joined in the conversation, but never really fit in. In a room full of people, your body was there, but your spirit was on the outside, observing everything. You always value silence over noise, depth over surface. You don't need to impress anyone, and you never care about being like everyone else. Instead, a small voice inside you constantly asks, "Why am I here?" That voice doesn't come from your mind. It comes from your soul. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It's awareness. You can sense what others don't say. You can sense when the energy in a room changes. Sometimes it drains you, not because you're weak, but because you absorb what others can't hold. You carry emotions that aren't yours. You feel burdens without explanation. But even so, you move through life with a quiet strength. The letter M or crescent moon on your palm is not a decoration. It is a confirmation. Only about 4% of the world's population bears these markings, and if they appear on your hand, your soul has a mission. You were chosen not to be like the rest, but to embrace a higher path, one that requires clarity, compassion, and unwavering purpose. This sign doesn't assign you a destiny. It reveals your calling. It whispers, "Remember, you are not here to wander. You are here to awaken, and any moment of feeling like you don't belong is never a flaw. It is a preparation." Your soul resists fitting in because it came here to stand out, to anchor truth in a world full of noise. When you embrace this inner knowing, you not only find yourself, but you become a path for others to follow. You are not lost. You are protected. And now, your time is coming. People with the letter M or crescent moon on their palms often walk through life with wounds that run deeper than most people can see. These are not surface struggles. They are trials deep within the soul, designed not to destroy, but to awaken something sacred within. Many of them have suffered great loss at a young age, a loved one gone too soon, a relationship they gave their all to, only to watch it fall apart in silence. These moments are more than painful memories. They leave scars on the soul, far beyond what the eye can see. No amount of therapy or distraction seems to be able to fully reach those places, because the wound was never connected to the present. It was seeded by something older, more sacred. Their homes often lack warmth. Family relationships are cold, critical, or distant. Even as children, they feel like strangers in their own home. Friends come and go, many of whom leave just when they need them most. This pattern repeats itself not because they push people away, but because their souls resonate with a frequency that few can relate to. And even in the midst of disappointment, they continue to hope. Their careers, finances, and love lives often fluctuate between extremes. They will start strong, only to feel it all come crashing down just before they hit success. They can never survive in a toxic environment or meaningless work. Their spirits reject it. Depression and fatigue creep in, not from laziness, but from mental exhaustion. Their energy doesn't match the surface pace of the world. But these stages are not punishments, they are refinements. Like gold tested by fire, their souls are being prepared for a calling that requires purity, clarity, and strength. Every loss raises a question. Every betrayal holds a lesson. The question that echoes in their minds, "Why me?" is not a curse. It is a sign, because you are the one who can endure and thrive no matter what. Here is the difference. They still choose goodness. Even after being broken, they still open their hearts. Even after being betrayed, they still don't close their hearts. Even when no one sees and no one praises them, they still choose to forgive. That quiet resilience, that unwavering kindness, that is the clearest evidence of a soul growing spiritually. Many will be broken. They are transformed. And in that transformation, they stepped into their true selves. For those marked with the letter M or crescent moon, relationships often carry a weight far greater than words can explain. These individuals don't float on the surface of connection. They dive deep. But in a world that often favors quick exchanges and superficial relationships, this depth becomes both a gift and a wound. They tend to give more than they receive. In friendship, they become listeners, absorbers, and healers. They make room for other people's tears, stories, and turmoil. People only call them when they are in crisis, pouring their pain into their ears, and disappearing when they feel better. Rarely does anyone ask them, "Are you okay?" They are considered strong, but strength does not come without need. In love, they expect honesty, kindness, presence, a sincere thank you, a silent hug, a moment of sharing without explanation. But what they often get in return is distance, broken promises, and the silent pain of being treated as an afterthought. Yet, they remain open. Not because they don't feel hurt, but because their souls know their role. They are not here to collect sentiment. They are here to transform pain. They possess the rare ability to turn disappointment into wisdom, betrayal into compassion, and loneliness into a sacred connection with themselves. Many people carry a quiet strength that goes unnoticed. On the outside, they may appear calm or even aloof, but inside they have a heart that has been broken many times, yet still chooses to beat with love. They are no longer quick to trust, but they do not give up on kindness. That's what makes them different. While others react, they reflect. While others walk away, they hold space. And in that holding, they become instruments of healing for the world, even when no one says thank you. That's the mark of a chosen soul. Those marked with the sacred signs, the letter M or the crescent, are not drawn to the noise of the world. From an early age, they feel lost in an environment filled with superficial conversation, meaningless entertainment, and endless competition. While others may pursue wealth, fame, and attention, these individuals watch from afar. They feel there is something empty about all that society calls success. Parties feel hollow. Small talk feels meaningless. The race to prove oneself feels like a distraction from something much more important. Instead, their spirit is turned inward, toward silence, toward peace, toward meaning. They are most alive not in crowds, but in quiet moments where nothing needs to be said. The sound of the wind in the trees. A breath that connects them to something higher. Their mind seeks more than logic. It seeks presence. Their heart does not crave attention. It craves connection. This is not the result of books or lectures. It is a natural attraction, a calling that comes from within. Many people begin their spiritual journeys alone, often without knowing what it is. They pick up texts on ancient wisdom, on soul energy, on divine purpose. They begin to pray, not because they are told to, but because their souls yearn to speak. They write to understand their inner world. They meditate, even in the quiet of everyday life. No one forces them to believe. They are forced to remember. True awakening always begins with a question that whispers louder over time. Who am I? Why was I sent here? Why does this world never feel like home? These questions do not come with fear. They come with a yearning for truth, for clarity, for spiritual certainty. The answer may not come immediately, but as soon as the question is asked, a door opens, a journey begins, and the soul, once buried under habit and expectation, begins to rise again. This quest is not dramatic. It does not demand attention, but it is sacred. And it marks the beginning of a transformation that no one else can see, but the soul will never forget. Throughout your life, you may have noticed something recurring. The same kind of heartache, the same kind of betrayal, the same feeling of being abandoned just when you thought you were finally safe. If you carry a sacred sign, whether it's the letter M or a crescent moon on your palm, these cycles are not random. They are signals, warnings written into the rhythms of your life. You meet different people, but they bring the same wounds. You face new situations, but they reflect the same emotional pain. These are not coincidences. They are messages from your soul and from the blood that has come before you. You are not simply living your own story. You carry a legacy, an energetic legacy passed down through generations, memories of silence, oppression, rejection, scarcity. The marks on your palms are not just about you. They point to something much more ancient. The soul contract you accepted before you came into this life. You are the one chosen to break the chain, to feel what your ancestors could not express, to release what they could no longer carry, to heal what they left behind. This is not a burden. This is a sacred role. You are the one who breaks the pattern, the first to see the cycle, the first to say, "This ends for me." You are not here to repeat what has hurt your lineage. You are here to cleanse it through awareness, compassion, and courage. And as you heal, the ripples will spread beyond you. Your healing will reach forward and backward. It will reach your ancestors who are still bound by unresolved pain. It will free them. It will bring peace to their journey. At the same time, your healing will reach forward to the children yet unborn, to the lives that are brighter because you chose to face the darkness. This is one of the highest missions a soul can receive. The sacred responsibility is to end a cycle that has lasted for many lifetimes. If you wonder why your life is heavier, more painful, more complicated, it is because you carry within you the spiritual power to rewrite the future. And you are doing it not only for yourself, but for every soul connected to your name. Spiritual awakening rarely comes during peaceful seasons. It often comes during times of turmoil, when life has collapsed so completely that all illusions are shattered. For those with the M or crescent moon on their palms, awakening tends to begin in moments of profound breakdown. The sudden loss of a loved one, betrayal by those closest to their hearts, the collapse of everything they once believed in. These events are not punishments. They are invitations. The soul has reached a point where it is ready to awaken, not gently, but completely. And to do so, it must be stripped of all falsehood. In the darkest hours, a quiet question arises from deep within. Why is this happening to me? It may sound desperate, but it is a spark. It is the soul beginning to speak. Pain forces you to stop running. It demands reflection, presence, and truth. As this question becomes persistent, the soul begins to guide the body, heart, and mind back into balance. That's when the markings on your hands begin to make sense. The letter M, the crescent moon. These are no random patterns. They are divine evidence that your soul chose this path long before you were born. You were prepared, not to endure, but to turn suffering into purpose. Not to avoid pain, but to bear it with wisdom and transform it into light. These markings appear only on those who have borne the burden of many lives, those who have been forged in silence, tempered by fire, and now return to accomplish what others could not. Awakening is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of living in truth. Once it begins, you no longer see the world the same way. You no longer react in ways that keep you stuck. You no longer need approval to stand in your truth. You become a mirror for others, a calming presence in the midst of chaos, because your soul has tasted the edge of pain and chosen light. And the truth is, you have always had the power. The proof is in your story, the story that only you can survive. The hardships, the losses, the betrayals, each one is a portal, and you have walked through it. And that is why your hands bear these marks, not for decoration, but for statement. You are not a victim of life. You are a transformer of energy, and you were made for this. As your soul begins to awaken, everything that once held your attention begins to lose its appeal. Parties, superficial conversations, endless web surfing, these things no longer provide the same thrill. Things that once entertained you now feel empty. The change doesn't come from sadness. It comes from alignment. Your frequency has shifted, and your soul no longer allows its energy to be used for meaningless things. You begin to drift away from the habits that once defined your life. Not because you're tired, but because your inner compass points elsewhere, toward depth, toward silence, toward truth. At the same time, your intuition becomes sharper, more precise. You sense things before they happen. You hear a song or see a number at the right time. You begin to notice patterns, signs, and what some might call coincidences. You sense that something larger is orchestrating the flow around you. These synchronicities are not coincidences. They are confirmations. The more you trust the flow, the more the universe responds, guiding you without forcing anything. Then the people in your life begin to change. Some leave quietly, without conflict. Some come as if they have always known you. This is energy at work. Your vibration now attracts only those who support your evolution. Others, those still anchored in fear, in resistance, flow naturally. No words are needed. Energy speaks first. You begin to live your awakening, not by preaching, not by posting quotes, but by being. Your calm presence speaks louder than any argument ever could. You become the kind of person who brings clarity just by walking into a room. There is peace in your eyes, warmth in your silence. You don't have to prove yourself. Your vibration will speak. This is what awakening looks like. Quiet, unshakable, real. And if you find yourself here, it means the shift has begun. There comes a moment when the storm inside you begins to subside. The air around you becomes lighter. You still face challenges, but something has changed. Peace no longer feels like a destination. You're already walking toward it. Conversations flow easily. Relationships click. There's no more pretending, no more forcing. This is one of the clearest signs. Your soul has fulfilled the mission it's been carrying on all your life. But not everyone is here. Some people are still carrying burdens that don't belong to them. If you still feel stuck in repetitive patterns, old fears, unresolved heartaches, or choices that no longer reflect who you are, it doesn't mean you've failed. It means your soul is still in the sacred work of healing. Healing is not weakness. It is sacred work. And in this time, what you need most is patience, compassion, and the courage to see yourself clearly. The door to the next dimension does not open through effort. It opens through alignment. When you begin to act in complete agreement with the gentle voice within, things change. Work you could not find appears. Clarity you have been praying for becomes instinct. What once felt heavy begins to lift, not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. And then comes the preparation. The energy around you begins to organize for something higher. You stop chasing. You stop proving. What is yours begins to come. The door doesn't just open, it welcomes you into a level of existence that your soul has been waiting to enter. When your soul awakens, life takes on a new shape. You no longer seek validation. You no longer chase status, applause, or approval. You realize that your presence, when authentic and relevant, is more than enough. Death loses its grip because you know it is not the end, just a passage into a higher light. What remains is the frequency you carried, the energy you shared, the peace you created just by being yourself. You begin to walk differently. You speak less, but others feel more. Your peace becomes permission for others to slow down. Your silence becomes a mirror for others to see their truth. You no longer need to explain yourself. Your way of being speaks louder than your words. This is your ultimate mission, to live honestly, fully, and gently enough that others will remember who they are by the way you walk. If this message touches something inside you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need this light.